Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Developing right now, tragedy on Detroit's west side. 3-year-old twin boys and their grandmother killed as a fire sweeps through their home. Ben?
Pesky showers again tonight, but if you are hunting for summer, I think we found it in the 7-day forecast.
Okay, Ben, and it was all-out panic. Brand new video shows the chaos as shots are fired during last night's fireworks as the family of the innocent victim in all of this speaks out. And that's where we begin here at 5 with new information in the shootings downtown last night at the fireworks.
Let's take a look at this viewer video of the shooting in Hart Plaza. Yeah, you see people scrambling to get away in Hart Plaza just as the fireworks were getting underway. An innocent bystander was hit. She's recovering tonight at Henry Ford Hospital, and that's where Rod Maloney is standing by. He's been talking with the family. Let's start with how she's doing, Rod.
Yeah, Devin, Shaquita Keene Johnson is doing okay. They say she's in stable condition. She's been shot in the side, has a couple of cracked ribs. Certainly going to be a painful recovery, but they say she's going to be just fine. It's the family's well-being, her husband, her mother, her grandchildren, who were with her last night at the fireworks, that are outraged and in disbelief that this could happen to her. The scene outside the Spirit of Detroit last night, terrifying. Young men arguing and then turned to gunfire in a split second. Shaquita, her husband Conrad, mother Celesta Arnold, and grandchildren came to enjoy the show.
I'm right beside her and she screams my name and I'm like, what's wrong? And she said, I got shot. I've been hit.
My daughter ain't laying on the ground rolling, screaming, calling my name. I don't know what to do. I didn't know which way to go.
And I just fell to the ground right beside her, and before I know it, before I can even try to check the wound, officers were right there.
It was a total mess. It was, uncalled for totally.
Detroit Police Chief James Craig said the incident marred an otherwise great event.
It's brazen when you, in addition to engaging in conflict and there's police around, but then to take out a gun and fire it. That is a problem. Why would one do that?
Conrad is heartbroken.
Trying to enjoy a great event that's been part of the city for years, and because individuals, and unfortunately young individuals, don't know how to resolve conflict without being violent. And unfortunately, like when they make that decision, it's always innocent people who end up hurt behind it.
Now, Conrad says that he wishes it was he who was upstairs and not his wife. He is also very upset about all of this. He is thankful to the city, though. The police department, Chief Craig, one of the city council members, has been in touch and trying to help out with them. But the person who perhaps showed the most calm under fire was actually an 8-year-old grandchild who had the presence of mind to immediately run to the police to get them there to help with grandma. And boy, I'll tell you what, the family is quite proud of him. Yeah. Back to you.
Well, Rod, he talked about this tradition that has been a part of I presume, that family's life for some time, as well as the city's, of course. What are they going to do in the future about the fireworks?
Well, it's funny. Conrad talked about that, and also his mother-in-law, in that they're saying that they've long been defenders of downtown Detroit, of the fireworks going, because they say it's what everybody should do. It's a great event. But now even they are saying, you know what, not next year.
Yeah, understandable, unfortunately. All right, Rod. Let's get to brand new developments now in a house fire that left twin 3-year-old boys and their grandmother dead.
Crews believe it might have been a kitchen appliance that started that fire, and they just couldn't make it out in time. Priya Mann is live tonight with more. Priya, this is just devastating.
Kimberly, these neighbors say they will never forget hearing people screaming for this grandmother and twin babies trapped inside the home. And at this hour, a 4-year-old boy, the twins' older brother, remains in the hospital in critical condition with 2nd and 3rd degree burns. Now, just take a look behind me. Throughout the day today, there has been a growing memorial as this community is determined to honor the lives lost here.
The grandma, she was like one of their own. She was like the neighborhood grandma.
The bodies of a 46-year-old woman and her twin grandsons were found upstairs after a house fire on the west side early Tuesday morning.
When I heard the man out here screaming, somebody was in the house.
Investigators say there was only one way out, through the front door. The grandmother was trying to get the kids out safely when they were overcome by thick smoke. A dozen people were inside when the fire started at the home on Losser and 7 Mile.
Very heartbreaking to know 2 kids or never had a chance like my kids, wasn't even given a chance in life.
The Detroit Fire Department does not suspect arson. Preliminary reports suggest a stove started the fire. It was removed from the home Tuesday morning. Throughout the day, neighbors dropped off balloons and stuffed animals at a makeshift memorial.
They are so friendly, especially the twins. They are so friendly.
I mean, they need to be acknowledged that they were here. And that was just 2 days ago. They was here. And now they gone.
This neighbor lost his 2 young grandsons in a fire a few years ago and says this tragedy hits particularly close to home.
Just hold on and know that they're in a better place.
And all 3 victims were found upstairs. Investigators tell me that the grandmother was still holding on to one of her grandbabies trying to escape. Reporting live from the west side, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
Priya, you mentioned there was only one way out, so this might not even matter, but did the house have working smoke alarms?
It did. Investigators tell me there were working smoke alarms, but that just speaks to how quickly this fire spread and how thick that smoke was. All 3 victims died from smoke inhalation.
Just heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. Okay, Priya, thanks. All right, time now for our Local 4 update to a murder mystery out of Van Buren Township.
We now know the name and we know the cause of death of the 27-year-old woman who was found dead on Friday night. She was found at her home on Hull Road near Sumter. Her name, Egypt Covington. Police say she was killed by a gunshot wound to the head. Detectives believe Covington knew her killer, but the investigation goes on, and if you've got any information that would help police, they would appreciate a call. Well, another beautiful day, though we do have the threat. Remember the threat last night was it just managed to come right as the fireworks came in. Threat of some rain again today.
Yeah, and we saw some of those showers last night move through during the fireworks. Will we see a repeat today, Ben?
Guys, it's 5 o'clock, which means it's raining somewhere. And here on 4 Live Radar, here it is again. For the last several days, we've seen this. Those raindrops, for the most part, are north of 69. We've seen a couple of these cells get a little bit intense, at least briefly. This one rolling out of Metamora, heading down towards Addison Township and Romeo. It looks like it's weakened just a little bit, but there's still going to be some drops around, and some of these could sink a little bit further south before we finally dry out past sunset tonight. Temperatures going to be on the cool side again, and by the time we get to 10 o'clock, we'll be right back into the 60s. Numbers do start warming up as we head towards the 4th of July. That is in our 7-day forecast, and we'll check it out for you in just a few minutes. Devin.
All right, Ben, we thought it was going to happen Thursday, but looks like the Senate vote on health care is off the table for now. Today, Senate GOP leaders said they just don't have the support to move their health care bill through at this point. They're going to try again after their July 4th break. Blaine Alexander's at the Capitol tonight with more. Blaine?
Well, Devin, this is exactly what Republicans were trying to avoid, sending their members home for break without getting this done. They didn't want to face a number of angry town halls, and they didn't want to lose momentum. On Capitol Hill, protesters celebrating. News that the Senate GOP healthcare vote is a no-go, at least for now.
If none of you have ever covered a big, complicated bill, they're hard to pull together and hard to pass.
Republican leaders now postponing the vote they were pushing to hold before July 4th, despite an uphill battle within their own party.
How do you make this work for everybody? So taking the time to get it right is where we should be.
Another Capitol Hill setback for President Trump, who today jumped personally into the fight. First, courting Senator Rand Paul at the White House, then inviting all 52 GOP senators over for a last-minute meeting.
The president's going to have a great discussion with the senators about what we have to do on health care.
The biggest hurdle for Republicans? The numbers. At least 5 GOP senators coming out against the bill when the party could only afford to lose 2. The bigger number, an estimated 22 million more people without insurance within a decade compared to Obamacare. Republicans now going to regroup, hoping to bring the bill back to life after the July 4th holiday. And remember, the House version of this bill suffered the same initial fate. After going back and making a number of changes, leaders were able to pass that bill weeks later. In Washington, Blaine Alexander, Local 4.
All right, Blaine. Longtime Detroit Congressman John Conyers is under investigation by the House Ethics Committee. The committee says it's investigating complaints against Conyers and a representative from New Mexico. While the exact allegations against Conyers are not known at this time, the committee acknowledged it's reviewing a referral from the Office of Congressional Ethics, which sends over its findings if members feel there's a substantial reason to believe a violation occurred. Now, a spokesperson for Conyers released a statement in response to the investigation saying, quote, Representative Conyers' office has worked diligently at all times to comply with the rules, is cooperating with the Ethics Committee, and is confident that this matter can be swiftly resolved. Meanwhile, Mary Sheffield is sticking to her initial decision. The Detroit City Council member says she will not change her vote in favor of public funding for the new Little Caesars Arena.
After hearing concerns from city residents, she is proposing a way for local communities to benefit from the Pistons' move to the arena, though.
What I am proposing is a neighborhood investment fund that will take the income tax of the NBA players and the visiting team players and put it into the fund that can only be used for neighborhood investment outside of downtown and midtown.
Detroit City Council voted 7-2 last week to allow the public funds to be used for the arena development. Politico is out with a list of America's most interesting city mayors. There is a Detroiter on this list.
But that Detroiter is not Mayor Duggan. We'll tell you who it is and why it's causing a little bit of controversy.
Also, they say the culture of silence is over. New at 5, USA Gymnastics announces sweeping changes in the wake of the sex abuse scandal.
But first, she lost her son to a distracted driver. Now this mother is doing something about it.
They need to support this. If you hate it, do something about it. Don't sit at home.
How her efforts are making real changes on the road. That's coming up next.
With the two. New at 6.
Wild animals preying on family pets. There is growing concern about the safety of dogs and cats in one Metro Detroit community. We'll take you there coming up at 6 o'clock.
Plus a wild police chase through parts of Royal Oak and Berkeley. See how it ended in a big wreck involving a house. That's coming up new at 6.
At any moment during the day, more than 600,000 drivers are handling their electronic devices. So think about that. When you're driving 55 miles an hour, sending or reading a text takes your eyes off the road for maybe 5 seconds, and that's long enough for you to drive in zone to end zone at Ford Field while distracted.
You're right. And now a mom whose son died in a crash involving texting and driving wants stronger laws in place. Karen Drew shows us what's already being done to crack down on this in the state of Michigan.
His nickname was Smiles because he loved everybody unconditionally.
Garrett Vaccaro was about to turn 25. Working as a chef, he had plans to join the Air Force. 2 nights shy of his birthday, he and his best friend, Justin Mitchell, were both struck and killed by a man who was texting and driving.
Because he was so distracted and so busy looking at his phone, he didn't even know anything had happened.
Garrett's story is heartbreaking and unfortunately becoming all too common. Cell phones were involved in 753 crashes in Michigan in 2015. Of those accidents, there were 3 deaths and 377 injuries. It is illegal to text and drive in the state. If caught, drivers are fined $100 for the first offense, $200 for additional offenses. Chief Eric Hawkins from the Southfield Police Department says the ban, the way it is now in Michigan, is simply not enforceable.
My officers are exposed to this daily, and they consistently express their frustration to me about how difficult it is for them to address this issue.
Hawkins spoke at an event earlier this year announcing a new House bill to strengthen Michigan's laws when it comes to driving and using cell phones. It would ban portable devices altogether, things like laptops, electronic games, or a GPS, and increase the fine for a first offense to $250 and $500 for second offense and 1 point on a driver's license. Trisha Vaccaro never imagined she'd lose her son in the prime of his life. She's trying to make a positive change from her personal tragedy by actively lobbying her lawmakers to strengthen the laws in her home state of Florida.
They need to support this. If you hate it, do something about it. Don't sit at home.
The new bill here in Michigan is sponsored by State Rep Martin Horlack from Troy. It's currently in a House committee. We'll let you know whether it moves forward or not, but it really puts it into perspective what you were saying over there, the length of a football field you're going
without looking up. That's a long way to go.
Long way. Yeah. All right. Well, who is the mayor of Detroit? A new list has an unexpected answer.
Pretty cheeky. Politico magazine has named businessman Dan Gilbert one of America's 11 most interesting mayors. Except he's not, of course. The magazine calls Gilbert Detroit's shadow mayor, calls the city's now thriving downtown Gilbertville, complete with buildings and company headquarters all owned by Gilbert. Politico says the Quicken Loans founder wields the kind of power and civic accomplishments most politicians can only dream of.
Shadow mayor.
Their words, yes. Their words, not ours, yes. Getting a lot of attention today.
Maybe we should have called him to get rid of the rain last night.
And the
if he's
wind.
Got that much
Wasn't
power.
it wild? Started about 5 minutes before the fireworks and only lasted the duration of the fireworks and then checked out.
We talk about so much about, it's not everybody's going to get wet. Well, this is a case where we got wet and nobody else did. But anyway, if you were watching it at home on TV, it was a fantastic show.
Yeah, sure
we
was.
still have some showers out there tonight. We'll take a look at what's going to go on in the next few days, because if you've been missing summer, this is some welcome news. We've got that trough hanging over the Great Lakes and even down to the Ohio Valley. As the jet stream starts moving a little bit further north, temperatures will start rising as we go through the rest of this week. And notice that the trough starts to return a little bit on Sunday, and even though it sinks a little bit further south, we're still going to have more sunshine, and jet stream is going to be further north than it is right now, so we're still looking at warmer temperatures as we get towards the back end of the 7-day forecast. Today, though, the 60s that are out there have generally been rain-cooled across parts of Lapeer and over towards Port Huron, which is at 68. 70s a little bit further south, where that rain has yet to start moving in. And this is actually warmer than what we saw yesterday in most locations. A few degrees warmer. In fact, in Metro, 7 degrees warmer than those temperatures that we saw at 5 p.m. yesterday. So the rain is not all that impressive, but it's out there. And you see a couple of those spits and drizzles across parts of the northern zone right now as it heads a little bit further south. Yesterday got quite a few rainbows with those showers that pushed through in the second half of the day, and it's tough to tell with this little bar down here, but it looks like that rainbow's really starting to light up the lake, and even that trampoline looks very bright out there. Appreciate that shot, and we will be seeing the showers diminish as we head towards sunset tonight. Towards daybreak tomorrow, that's when those temperatures will start coming up a little bit compared to what we had today. And then we'll start looking at showers a little bit more numerous as we get into the evening hours on Wednesday night going into Thursday morning. And by the way, this is that area that got so much of the rain in the last week and a half. They do not need any more up there towards Mount Pleasant and Saginaw. Unfortunately, it looks like they're going to get some on Wednesday night. 55 tonight for an overnight low. Skies will be clearing out after we get these showers out of here this evening. High temperatures tomorrow, a little bit of an improvement, still not quite to average, but we are going to see the upper 70s, so stopping just shy of 80 in most spots. A couple places will touch 80, and that's generally going to be in our south zone. Not a whole lot of difference in these temperatures across the zones, anywhere between 78 here in Flint, 79 down in Canton and Ann Arbor. May get as cool 76 up in Sanilac County tomorrow afternoon in Sandusky and Lexington, but most of our north zone is going to be 77, 78 for high temperatures tomorrow. And then the 80s start showing up Thursday and Friday, and in true summer fashion, here come the thunderstorms with it as well. Thursday, as a matter of fact, some of those storms could be on the strong side as we get into the afternoon, so we'll watch those carefully and get a little unsettled as we head into Saturday. Most of the weekend's looking dry, but there's the 4th of July. Starting to feel more like it.
Yeah.
84, but we will have some showers and storms possibly.
Right on time. Yep. Right.
Okay, Ben. Let's check in with Dr. McGeorge.
Staying safe on the 4th of July. Ahead in good health, what you definitely don't want to do when it comes to fun with fireworks.
All right, Frank, but first, stories from across the state, including this massive fire. Why crews say it may take as long as a week to put it out. That's next. Across Michigan this Tuesday, following stories from Bay City and Grand Haven.
But we want to start in White Pigeon, which is in St. Joseph County, and that's where a mulch fire at a recycling facility is burning, and it's going to stay that way for a while. The fire broke out Monday afternoon. The recycling facility moved in just 7 months ago and was in the process of developing a fire safety plan. Meanwhile, firefighters are dealing with high winds and the lack of a nearby water source. They have to travel to nearby towns to get water to bring it back there. Fire officials say it may take a week to get that fire out.
In Bay City, thieves targeted a Little League building and made off with a safe holding more than $4,000. The kids' parents and Bay City Southwest Little League did a number of fundraisers together to collect all that money. A GoFundMe fund has been set up to help the team get that money back, or raise it back, if you will. Over in Grand Haven, a kitty was given a new home after being caught in an SUV.
The little kitty crawled up into the wheel well of a woman's Buick Encore. While she was driving, somebody rolled down their window to tell her that her car was meowing. Well, the woman went to a dealership where mechanics were able to get the kitten out unharmed. A worker at the dealership took the little kitty home and named the kitty Encore. Of course, because that's the car.
Because yes, indeed, and the kitty gets an encore.
Oh, for surviving.
For being a tough cat. That's right. But down to 8 lives, no doubt. Back with more in just a minute.
New at 5:30.
Sorry isn't enough.
Don't remain silent in your life, because you are going to prison because of your silence.
A judge delivers a stern warning as this woman is sent away for the death of a 3-year-old. Preserving history, how a unique project is making sure one of Detroit's darkest periods won't be forgotten.
Michigan State Dr. Larry Nassar triggered a scandal in USA Gymnastics. Today, the results of that investigation call for sweeping changes to protect children from sexual abuse.
Gather them. Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5:30 starts now.
Changes are coming at USA Gymnastics. A damaging report reveals a culture of silence amid years of sexual assaults to some of our country's top Olympic athletes. Good evening, and that report says USA Gymnastics needs a complete cultural change.
Meant to put it here on the desk. All detailed here in these 147 pages, along with 70 separate recommendations that they hope will prevent sex abuse in the organization. We bring in Steve Garagiola about the ability now to adopt all of these recommendations, which I guess they're trying to do immediately, Steve.
Well, and timing will be an issue, how fast this can happen, because it is a massive change that they're calling for. An 8-month investigation, the 147-page report issued today, the overriding bottom line here that USA Gymnastics is not doing nearly enough to protect young gymnasts from sexual assault. The USA Gymnastics scandal focuses in large part on Larry Nassar, former Michigan State doctor and national team physician from 1996 to 2015. Nassar will stand trial in 24 cases involving criminal sexual conduct. This past spring, some of his accusers, former Team USA gymnasts, spoke out publicly.
He started massaging me, and he had asked me not to wear any underwear. And then he just continued to go into more and more intimate places.
The overriding conclusion of the report today is that protection of young athletes has been, quote, secondary to the primary focus of winning medals.
It was surprising to me that there was no requirement that members report abuse.
The report proposes sweeping changes. Among them, require certification for coaches before they're hired, create and require annual training in abuse policies, require immediate reporting of suspected abuse, develop a disciplinary process for gymnastics clubs in violation. USA Gymnastics has been reluctant to assume any control over independent gyms, but the conclusion of the report is that must change in order to protect young athletes from sexual abuse. Now, Devin, you touched on the timeline question about these changes being immediate. The lead investigator, when asked about that, said you got to keep in mind this is not some rule change for a sport. This is a cultural change. We need to look at these young athletes no longer as a commodity toward winning medals, but as young people who also need protection. So it will take some time to change the whole view of the sport. Back to you.
And Steve, want to bring us up to date on where we are on the march through the justice system for Dr. Nassar.
Yeah, where that stands now, just this past week, an Ingham County judge ordered that he should stand trial on 6 cases of sexual assault against young women. He also faces at least a dozen civil suits from his accusers, his alleged victims, as well as a federal pornography charge. So there was a long list of legal troubles ahead for him.
Sure was. All right, Steve.
An Inkster woman learns her fate for her role in the beating death of a 3-year-old boy. Today, Andrea Bracey was sentenced to 9 to 15 years in prison. Bracey pled guilty to involuntary manslaughter and second-degree child abuse in the death of her boyfriend's son, Timmy Smith. At today's sentencing, the judge told Bracey the little boy died in part because she kept silent.
To remain silent when one should protest makes cowards of men. You remained silent in your own life and refused to walk away.
The little boy's father was tried on murder, torture, and child abuse charges, but was found not guilty.
Well, we were, of course, watching that forecast for last night with great concern for days and days. Now we move our attention to the next big holiday, which is coming up next week.
That's right. Lots of people making plans to go up north or just have a couple days off.
Yeah, and as we get towards the upcoming weekend, it's going to feel a lot more like summer, but that also means better chances of thunderstorms, too. We got some activity that's out there tonight, but this is just shower stuff. And we're actually looking at Detroit, which I wanted to show you is clean right now. We've got a couple blips here, but that's just radar trash around the edges here. We're experiencing dry conditions downtown Detroit, which is good news for folks heading to the Tigers game. There are some scattered showers out here closer to I-69. These are moving a little bit further south, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a shower around maybe as far south as Comerica at times tonight, early, more likely than later. Most of this stuff should be dried out by the time we get to sunset tonight, and there's really not a whole lot more to look at on 4 Live radar. But as we get through the rest of tonight, it is going to be staying unseasonably cool. Summer does come back late in the week, and your 4th of July forecast is pretty much what you'd expect. We'll look at that coming up here in just a few minutes, guys.
All right, Ben. The White House is claiming Syria is preparing for another chemical attack.
In a statement, the White House said it noticed movement on the ground similar to what led up to a previous chemical attack in April. In response to that attack, the U.S. fired 60 missiles at a Syrian air base, the same base that launched previous attacks back in April that killed about 100 people and injured hundreds more. Syria denies planning for an attack.
Competition over internet shopping in Europe leads to a record fine for Google. The European Union is imposing a $2.7 billion penalty for what it calls, and this is the quote, illegal advantage that Google gave its comparison shopping service. EU officials say the company's service acted in an anti-competitive manner.
We find that Google, being so dominant in general internet search, they've used this dominance to promote themselves and to demote rivals.
The Commission gave Google 90 days to stop its practice or face additional fines. Google disagrees with the findings and says they are considering an appeal. Good health tonight. It is a fun but all too often dangerous 4th of July tradition.
We're talking about fireworks. They are loud, booming, and beautiful, yet every year thousands of people are injured using them. Dr. Frank McGeorge is here with what you need to look out for to keep you and your family safe.
Exactly, Karen and Devin. You know, every single year we see far too many firework injuries coming into the ER. But if you just take a few simple precautions and follow some key rules, you can avoid making that trip. Here's what not to do on the 4th of July in 3, 2, 1. In Washington Tuesday, the Consumer Product Safety Commission used mannequins to demonstrate the very real dangers of fireworks.
It's the 30 days around the 4th of July where we see the highest rate of incidents and injuries.
The CPSC reports there were more than 11,000 fireworks-related injuries in 2016. Most people were burned, like this man who lit 4 sparklers at once last year. He should have known better. He's trained to treat such injuries.
It's very embarrassing to be an emergency room doctor who just blew up his hand with a firework.
Sparklers can be as hot as blowtorches. Meanwhile, fireworks distributor American Promotional Events is recalling more than 36,000 packages of these TNT red, white, and blue smoke fireworks after reports that 3 people were burned using them. A few safety tips from the CPSC. First, never let kids use sparklers or any firecrackers. Also,
make sure that if you have a dud that doesn't light, you don't try to relight it.
And maybe this 4th, leave the pyrotechnic displays of American pride to the professionals. Now, a couple other important things. Protect your eyes, especially if you're lighting the fireworks. Some fuses burn a lot faster than you might think. Also, always have water on hand to douse a dud and deposit spent sparklers. They stay dangerously hot a lot longer than you might think.
And since we've changed the rules on fireworks in Michigan, I'm guessing you've seen more folks coming in over a wider period of time, right, not just on the 4th anymore, right?
Yes, definitely, actually, yeah. There's an extended season, if you will.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a long one, too.
Yeah.
Thank you, Doc.
On Detroit's east side today, work got underway to make a playground even better for the city's children.
Mitch Albom's Say Detroit and the Cooper Standard Foundation first built a playground last year, located in Detroit's Morningside neighborhood, where Say Detroit rebuilt nearly a dozen homes and gave them to families. Right now, the goal is to expand that playground by adding a new section and more swings and more slides.
Time they're going to build for 2 to 5-year-olds. Last time we built for 5 to 12-year-olds. So at this rate, we'll just keep expanding down the block.
And the new playground should be ready in a few weeks. Until then, of course, the kids will just be watching over there, waiting for what's coming their way. That's exciting. The waiting's the hardest part. Great stuff, Mitch. The new type of urban farm is generating a lot of buzz.
New here at 5:30, what they're growing in the middle of the city that has nothing to do with fruits and veggies.
Also, one of the most precious pieces of baseball history is up for sale. What it is and why Charlie Sheen has something to do with it.
But first, preserving history, the unique project capturing one of the darkest moments in Detroit's history, and how you can play a role. That's coming up next.
Before we go to break, I want to tell you something really cool about last night during the fireworks. We put a 360-degree camera in position to capture the entire show from that 360-degree viewpoint. We posted online. You can move around, view it from a number of different angles. Really makes you feel like you were there. Pretty cool. Check it out. It's on our Local 4 Facebook page, and we'll be right back.
On Jeopardy!